Hi, it's Cindy Fodor here with Make It Monday. It is January the 25th. Where has the month gone? My goodness. Hope you're having a good day. Let me just check and make sure that we are getting connected okay. And all right, looks good. So hope you're having a good day. I will tell you a couple things while we're waiting for everybody to pop on. So again, please like, please share, please comment. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what you're enjoying or maybe what you'd like to see. Those things help me a lot in deciding what projects I'm going to do. I do want to announce before I forget, because I always forget this, that the winner from last week's drawing for commenting and sharing, don't forget you get a ticket for commenting, but you get a second ticket if you share. So you make sure you let me know if you're sharing this with your friends or on your page or whatever, because that helps me to build an audience and build my small business. So thank you for doing that. But the winner was Talara Cumro. So she will win the project from that. Oh, forgot to turn my phone off. Okay. So I think that's everything. I'm going to show you three. So it's going to be a little long again. It won't always be this long, but I get carried away. So I had three projects that I had done for my team for an event that we were doing, a Zoom event. And so I wanted to show all of those to you so that you could enjoy those as well. So let me flip my camera over and we will get started. Okay, the first project that I'm going to show you today, we're going to do this one. This one comes from the Flowering Cactus. It is called a Medley of Products, I believe. There's no name on here, but it comes in a box like this. And I'm going to show you everything that's in this kit so that you can understand why the cost of this kit is $70. This is a full kit. It's got the Flowering Cactus stamps. It's got the dies. I don't know if I have them all in here. But yeah, there's a die for each of the individual cactuses, and then there's this little stitch die, plus there's a little sharp pokey things that I'm gonna use in my card as well. Some great sentiments. It's just an overall fabulous kit. I love these medleys of products. You can see I've used a bit of them here, but these are the designer papers. Come in all kinds of gorgeous colors. And these, yeah, those are ones that you can die cut. Everything's ready to go. You can just die cut those with the dies. Such pretty papers. Let's go to the other side and see what they look like. I'm sorry, I have pieces in here. That's how I store all of my papers. But everything is just beautiful. Like, there's not a single image in there that I wouldn't use. In addition to that, you have these felt, take this rubber band off my hand. You have these felt pieces that they're stitched and they're already cut. You just pull them out and use them. I tend to lose them once I do that. So they're all over the piece here, and there's some in Calypso and some in Highland Heather. Let's see, what else do we have? Let me stick those back in here just so I don't get them everywhere. I think, is that everything? I felt like there were some sticker pages, and maybe I was wrong about that. I don't think I took anything out of here and left it out. But yeah. And then there's two rolls of cord. One's Calypso and one is our regular, they're both linen threads. Is that it? I think so. So let's, I think this one I don't need. Let me get rid of that. And we're finished with this for now. Okay. So let's talk about this. So I'm using, the paper I'm using, if you look here, this is Mango Melody. And I'm going to show you the sponging, which creates this whole scene. I think that makes this card. But I started with Mango Melody. And we're using Crumb Cake as our base card. I'm using a piece of the cactus paper. And I actually had to seam it because I didn't have enough. I was doing it for a team project. And so I had to seam that, but it really lined up well, and so it barely shows. You can probably not even see it on camera. I do have some of my pieces already done. However, I am going to show you how I did this shading on here. And it looks, oh, there's my flower. I call this a pickle. I know it's a cactus, but it looks like a pickle. Anyways, okay. So let's go ahead and start with this piece. And how I did that was I inked the stamp. So the cactus stamp gets inked in Pear Pizzazz. And then I'm going to take my sponge dauber, and I do need my scrap paper. Where did I put that? Oh, here. I do like to sponge off just a little bit, because it tends to make it a little too dark. And if you look at the stamp, you'll be able to see where the darker part of the stamp is. And I'm actually going to just darken that a little bit more. So I started on that darkest side. And then as the color disappears from my sponge, I just move it in a little bit. And now I'm ready to stamp. And I'm going to put it right here at the edge so that I can hopefully see where I'm going. All right. Not perfect placement, but I typically, the other ones I stamped first and then we die cut, but I could use this one if I want to. All right, so the next technique is I'm going to show you how to use our new brushes and put that like sort of Western sunset theme onto our paper. So we're going to put our scrap down here and put these pieces back. I'm actually going to use, I think I showed this in one of my other videos, somebody suggested using your clear plate as your base. Actually, I probably don't need this scrap because that's just going to make it harder for you to see. So you're going to use your clear plate as a base. And what that's going to do is, get all my supplies here. So I'm going to use my blending brush, and I'm going to add some color to it. I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to start on my paper, and I want it darkest. Let me put my card over here so you can see as I'm doing this. I want my darkest area up here in this corner. So that's where I'm going to start, and I'm just going to keep working down. I tend to dab just because if I don't, I have to let go and hold on to the pad each time. So you will see me dabbing more than, I'm not sure if that's the correct technique for that, but it works for me. You see how I'm getting my ink onto the clear plate here, but I don't have to waste it because my brush will pick that up, and I'll be able to bring that back on here and use that, as opposed to if I was doing it on my scrap paper, it would just be completely wasted each time. You see how that just gradually comes down, looks like a beautiful gradient sunset. I do think I want just a little more color at the top. So I'm just going to keep working up here. I'm going to go ahead and pull that color in here. go. All right, now I do want to tell you, you could have a brush for every color. However, that would be an expensive commodity. So somebody, one of the demonstrators on one of the groups that I'm in, suggested our Norwex Claws. And if you don't use them, they are a woven microfiber. They actually have silver in them. They kill bacteria, so I use them for cleaning all the time. But I had this little travel set, and so this is the EnviroCloth, and it just has the right, I have it just a little bit damp, and I'm able to come in and clean my brush, and it doesn't completely wet my brush, but it gets rid of any color that's on there so that I'll be able to, in a few minutes, go back and use this in another color. So you have 3 brushes in the set, and I do tend to grab, like I keep one for lighter colors. This was a very bright dark red Poppy Parade. So all right, so let me just recap really quick. I forgot to mention, in case you didn't see it, the 4 colors that I used on this card were Crumb Cake, Poppy Parade, Mossy Meadow, and Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so those are, plus of course your Mango Melody, which is just the paper, but that finishes out that really nice. And I did these flowers in Calypso Coral, but and of course that coordinates with our paper and everything. But I also did these in the ones that I'm going to use in Poppy Parade, and I think they're going to look nice too. So you can use pretty much any colors that you want. The green, of course, I pulled out of here. The 2 greens, Pear Pizzazz and Mossy Meadow, are in the designer paper, so I pulled those out. Okay, so now we're just putting together, and I'm going to go ahead and put my designer paper. The back of this paper is quite a contrast to the front, isn't it? But so pretty. And that's just going to get centered here. And then this piece is going to be centered on top of that. I'm just loving the Seal Plus. I feel like it lasts so long. All right, so we're going to put, this little guy is going to go behind everything here. I'm going to put it up a little bit so that we can see him when everything else is laying down. And I'm not going to dimensional this one. I will wait to do the next one. I want to make sure I have room for this. Okay. All right. And I am going to just trim this. I don't see my regular scissors. I guess I'll use my ribbon scissors. It's a no-no, right? I don't like all of that extra, so when I stamp or cut it crooked, I've got to trim that off. Okay. I guess I could have cut that one that I have extra of it. All right, so this one's going to get popped up with dimensionals. Put a couple of those on there. And I'll put him about here. All right, so then I have my little flowers, and I have these little pokers. And so the flowers, I'm going to pop one of them up. Let's see, I think I can fit. I think I'll need a baby dimensional for this one. Put him up here. Flowering Cactus. Okay, and then I think I can fit a big one on this one. Put that one there. And then these little guys, I'm going to just use my take your pick tool. And I think it's going to be easier to, I think I got the wrong side of that, but just put a dot of glue on there. And then decide where I want to put him. This is a prickly cactus, so we've got to have the prickles on there. There's a teeny tiny one. Oh, that's a little much glue, Cindy. Oh, that one's going to be hard to hold on to. Okay. He goes on the tip of that. This one's turned upside down, so let's turn him around. Let me stick that on there a little bit better. Okay. Last but not least, we'll stick one right here. I want it to look like it's attached to the cactus, but I also want to see the prickles sticking out. Okay, let's see here. I got pieces everywhere. Wrong piece. I love all the tools that come with this take your pick tool, but I do tend to have pieces everywhere. Okay. Let me stick my glue lid back on before I make a huge mess. And now I'm ready to put my tag on. I'm just going to glue that flat. And I'm probably going to see if I can tuck it under here. I really want to get that end under there, but I'd have to trim a little bit of that off. Okay, there we go. Looks like I got it over the edge there. The adhesive, if you get it over the edge, you just fold it under so that it's just adhesing on itself. And then I'm just going to give this a little snip right here at the edge. Okay. And now we have, oh shoot, I stuck that back in. I'll use this one. We have our linen thread in the crumb cake color. So I'm going to just make a little bow to stick on here. And then I am going to add one other embellishment to the card, as you can see there. I just sort of roll that up underneath there so that it doesn't stick out. All right. I don't really want that down in my words. And then I'm using the champagne rhinestone. And just grab this and pop these babies on here. I just love how easy these things come off with this take your pick tool. I don't know why they do, but they do very well. All right, there's our card, and that is it for that project. And I wanted to show you in the this is in the January to June mini catalog. This is where you'll find the Flowering Cactus on page 9. It is $70 for the medley, which includes, like I said, the dies, the stamps, excuse me, the little die cut, stitched, yeah, whatever they are, foam. No, they're not foam, but felt things, and then the 6x6 pack of designer paper. The really cool thing is you can get a refill, which includes the paper and the die cut sheets and the linen combo pack. So all of the consumables you can get in a bundle to replace that. And I'm definitely going to do that because I love this whole set. I know I'll use it a lot more if my daughter ever gets married, or my daughter-in-law, if we have to do a baby shower or something. They both are into cactuses majorly, and so it will be perfect for either of those occasions. So I've got to make sure I have plenty of that on hand. Okay, so I'm going to just zoom my screen in a hair because I feel like I'm so far away. So that's that. So let's go to the next project. And I'm not even sure what it's called, but I've seen people doing it and I decided to try it myself. Let me show you the card, and it has just disappeared on me. Oh, here. It's in a different color. This is using the Oso Ombre designer paper that's in the Celebration, and it's so versatile, so wonderful for everything that I want to do. So make sure you get yourself some of those. It comes in 4 different shades. It's got the Bermuda Bay. It's got the Granny Apple Green, which of course it has different hues of those colors in. So I was able to find some other colors that coordinated. Like here I used Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana with the darker and lighter areas of the designer paper. And on this one, because I ran out of that, I used the soft seafoam and Granny Apple Green. And I could have traded out a couple of greens, but I felt like these went the best together. So, let me show you how I did that. I did not bring my little chopper, and I might have to grab that. So my designer paper is going to go on here. Now I have white, or you could use green depending on what you want to do. Let me show you how it looks on there. It would look nice on there as well. I have a lot of glitter on this card for some reason. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down so that it's not causing us any issues as we're working here. You see the other side is this gorgeous, I believe it is like a rich raspberry. It has sort of a plum look to it. And the other color is Blushing Bride, I believe. Okay, so what I did was I went to my circle dies. You can see I have some stitched in here and I have some regular. So I used the circle dies, and I also used the stitch shapes for the ones that are stitched. And so I sort of have them in piles, I believe. I feel like I'm missing something here. This one goes like this. Okay, yeah, like that. Actually, this one goes over here, and then this one goes here. All right, so you need 2 sets, and one a little bit larger than the others. All right, so you can see here how, let me just go ahead and set these out so that you can see how I did that. It did take me a little bit of time to decide what sizes I wanted to use, but this one is the next step down. This one here is a little bit less than this one. These 3 are the same size, but that's okay because you can spread them out a little bit to make them look bigger than they are. And then these are the same size, but this is the stitched, not the stitched one. This is just the regular circle die, and then these are the stitched. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to glue these together so that you have a little bit on each side that is sticking out, and this side is pretty much gonna like come all together at this edge. Okay, and I want my darkest color showing, so I'm gonna put the darkest part up. Whoops, I dropped him. Stuff sticks pretty good, doesn't it? Wow. Okay. Do not drop that on your project. Okay, and then the last one will go over here. All right, so I'm going to put that one aside. Let's go ahead and do this one. Now I want the lightest color at the top. Put my white. This project just reinforces how fabulous Stampin' Up! Has been with all of our color combinations. We have so many great colors that really coordinate well together, and I'm so happy about that. All right, now I'm going to use my mini chopper to do this, just because you have so many layers and we need to cut this in half. So a guillotine is going to work best if you have one. You can use scissors, you can make a line and use some really good scissors, whatever works for you. And let's just go back to our project so we make sure we do this right. I'm not going to cut it exactly in half. This bottom portion I want to be a little bit bigger. And let's see, this is going to be my bottom. So I'm going to cut it right across there. And okay, so that's my bottom piece. Maybe a little bit bigger than the one I have there. And then this is going to be my top piece. I think I'm going to want him over a little bit. And I'm going toward the sharp, the thicker end, cutting that direction. That made it a little bit harder. Let me just clean that edge up a little bit. Okay, now I think that even though, I tell you what, that light coming in my window is just not being very helpful, is it? And it's coming from my side over here, from the back of me. All right, so let's go ahead and see how this works together. We'll turn these around. Oh, I did that completely wrong. No, that's just the wrong piece. Okay. Don't panic, Cindy. It's okay. All right. So you can put it on here however you want. I think I'm going to line this up where you can do it like that so that it looks like those colors are following each other. I've seen it done many ways. That looks like a little chick, I think. So I'm going to just extend it a little bit. And I used our Well Set, I believe, is our bundle that has the words and dies in it. And I want something that's going to cover that slit there. So a die cut is the perfect thing to put over that. And then I really meant to have this whole circle here instead of cutting that, but that's going to be okay, I think. We'll just pop that baby up there. So I'm going to put a little glue on the bottom of it, and I'll put that in place. I just want to be able to see a little bit of this light green that's here, but I don't want to see that that I've cut that piece. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this down. Peel off the dimensional. Make sure that's where I wanted it. Okay, and then we'll do the same with this one. Bring it in just a little bit. All right, and then we're ready to put this on. Lots of ways you could do this. I do have my mat here, so I think I'm gonna do it this way. You could die cut it with our adhesive sheets already on the back of it, which would have made that really simple. Or you could do this way with a little piece of sponge, and I think I want a little bit more glue than that. And I'm just going to hold this in place, dab on my glue. I don't want it to move because I don't want it to get on the front of it. And then I can just put that in position. And happy birthday. I do have one little glue dot, or one little dot for the, need my paper towel here. A little dot for the eye. And we didn't lose it. Imagine that. Let me grab my take your pick tool. See if it can get lost on here. See if I can drop it into that. Whoops. It decided to go sideways on the take your pick tool. There we go. All right, now that's in place. We're good to go. All right, so there's that card. I hope that you'll try it. It is really pretty and it's fun. I don't think, oh yes, I do have the gems here. I cut those and put them in everybody's kit, so pop those on here. These went better with the other color, but they don't go terrible with this, so I decided to go ahead and use, these are the holiday rhinestones, and I think they are so pretty. So those will go on there. All right, now, like I said, I think these two pieces still have potential. You could put them together backwards like this. I don't think you need to waste it, even though they're a little bit, like I put the bulk of this white down here because it was a little bit bigger than I wanted. But I think that it still would make a pretty card. So that will go on something else. All right, let me clean this up. Okay, our last project is this beautiful card, and it has a couple techniques on it that I want to show you. So so it's got a little wash in the background. It's got some speckles. We're going to be using our watercolor, our water painters, and we're using these stitched shapes dies, the circle again, the one we just used on another project, and to create this gorgeous look. I got this this little basket idea from my friend Lindsay Mahone from Canada when she demoed at our on stage event, and I just love the little idea she had, and then I just added a little bit of gold to that. So I'll show you how to do all of that. The colors I'm using are gray granite and soft seafoam, and I have my refills because when you watercolor, it really is helpful to have the refills and to be able to get that speckle look on there. I am using the Quite Curvy bundle as well as the stitch shapes, and that's how I created this little look across here with our die that has that little curve and the little holes in it. And of course all the little pieces here are from Quite Curvy as well. Okay, so I'm also using a couple of blends, and I meant to color some of the stuff in before I started this video, but you'll get the basic idea. So I got some greens and yellows, and let me set this so we can see it here. And so my base is gray granite. Let me go ahead and fold that. You're like, you could have folded that before you came on camera, right? I know. All right, then you would have missed that joy. Okay, let's go ahead and work with our background. We're going to create this awesome background. I am going to need some scrap paper, probably bigger than this piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a watercolor wash here, and then we're going to speckle it with some dots. So I'm going to use my pad, just the lid here, to put some color in. You can see where I was working on this with this project before, and I am going to use our brush, our watercolor brush that has this wide tip to it. It's just a great way to create a wash. You do want a lot of water